This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha discussing our visit to Santa Marta, Colombia. Colombia is the 63rd country I have visited since leaving the United States in 2007. Don't take notes as you listen. Everything I say is in writing with Google links to the places I discuss. Just visit the link below this YouTube video or Google Vagabond Buddha Santa Marta to find links to everything we mentioned in this video at our travel blog. Santa Marta, Colombia Travel Guide. This Santa Marta travel guide and video includes Santa Marta top 10 things to do, Santa Marta accommodations, best Santa Marta restaurants, best Santa Marta nightlife, Santa Marta money-saving tips, Santa Marta safety and health risks, and Santa Marta cost of living. We heard about Santa Marta and Tayrona National Park from a Colombian named Daniel we met during our visit to Medellin, Colombia. Daniel was our guide on the Pablo Escobar tour in Medellin. Daniel told us about this beautiful park, part of Colombia, the white sand beaches, the protected habitat of the Tayrona National Park, the warm breezes, the natural beauty of this untouched part of Colombia, and tubing adventures in Tayrona. Daniel was right. This place is amazing. While in the Santa Marta, we spent 6 nights in Santa Marta Old Town, 5 nights in Rodadero, and 6 nights in Taganga. You'll be amazed how different these 3 neighborhoods feel. Chung Hoi is the beautiful woman in the pictures. She is HoboVentures.com founder, travel writer, foodie, Mercedes-Benz Stylos Model of the Year, and my partner in crime. Check out her travel blog or her Instagram pictures. There's links in the blog. Santa Marta, top 10 things to do and see. Old Town Santa Marta. Almost everything interesting in Old Town is in walking distance of the Marque Santander de los Novos Park. Just head over to this park and start exploring in all directions. Some directions will be interesting for 2 blocks, some will be interesting for 5 or 10 blocks. Just follow your explorer nose and sniff out the photos and stories you want to tell. In the evenings, most of the fun is also within 4 or 5 blocks of this park. In the evening, make sure to walk north from the northeast corner of the park 3 or 4 blocks to Simon Boulevard Park. Along that walk, stop in at my favorite restaurant in Santa Marta, Lulu.com Cafe. Also, make sure to head east from the northeast corner of the park for a few blocks. Old Town is a smaller, more relaxed, and cheaper version of Cartagena. Just start in this park and explore 5 to 6 blocks in all directions. Taganga. Taganga is a fishing village about 5 kilometers north of Santa Marta, $4 taxi ride. Taganga is a place divers and backpackers must visit when in this part of the world. We spent 6 days in Taganga while in the Santa Marta area, and it turned out to be a great decision. Taganga is a super relaxed community, and we really did relax there. We didn't do any tours or excursions from Taganga. Relaxation is exactly what we needed, so we really enjoyed our stay there. Sunset on the beach in Taganga is really spectacular. As you face the beach in Taganga, the fishing boats are all off to the right, and the sunbathing part of the beach is more to the left. Make sure to walk the beach from one side to the other at sunset and take pictures. Pictures of the fishing boats with the sun setting behind them are really nice. Rodadero. Rodadero is said to be one of Colombia's national holiday spots. I think that describes it fairly well. If you would like to see Colombians singing and dancing on the beach in the evening and after a few beers, this is a place to go. You'll hear some great music and people having a really nice time. During the day, Rodadero Beach is also where you catch the boat to Playa Blanca. Playa Blanca. Playa Blanca is a beautiful white sand beach within a few kilometers of Santa Marta. While facing the beach on Rodadero, walk all the way to your right, go over a bridge, and grab a round-trip ticket to Playa Blanca for about 12,000 COP per person. That's about $4. A 10-minute boat ride will have you at Playa Blanca. There is beautiful water, snorkeling, and a huge zip line. Pack food and drinks because the prices are a bit steep there as compared to Rodadero Beach. Crystal Beach. Crystal Beach is a beautiful beach in Tayrona National Park. Crystal Beach is remote and difficult to get to, so few people go each day. We did a day trip to Crystal Beach that cost about 80K COP, which included the foreigner entry fee into Tayrona National Park, which was about half the cost of the tour. That's about $26 for that tour. If you purchase anything, we suggest using our link to an affiliate. We will receive a small commission from the affiliate at no additional cost to you. Your support will help us continue to share more information about our travels, our travel lifestyle, and how to make money online, whether or not you travel. Please purchase a day trip to Crystal Beach or any other tour via one of the following affiliate links to Viator or Get Your Guide. Rio Don Diego. Rio Don Diego. Enjoy floating down Rio Don Diego in an inner tube until you reach the Caribbean Sea. There are also inner tube floating tours to Palomino, which is a similar experience but more crowded, I hear. We had the river all to ourselves. Again, check the tours resellers at the following links, Viator or Get Your Guide, or ask one of the hostel operators in Old Town Santa Marta. Quinta de San Pedro Alejandrino. Simon Bolivar is known as the Libertador because he played a leading role in gaining independence for Venezuela, Bolivar, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Panama from Spain. That's Bolivia, sorry. Bolivar is the George Washington of South America. That is why practically every main street in Colombia is named after Simon Bolivar. He died in 1830 on his beautiful estate that you can visit. The estate is now a museum that you can visit in Santa Marta. You can see how the wealthy lived in Colombia, including courtyards, beautiful gardens, and the monument built to honor Bolivar. It costs 20K COP, which is about $6.50 US, and about 8K COP or $2.50 for a taxi one way from the Old Town area. They have students who are learning English that will walk you around the grounds and tell you the story of Simon Bolivar in English. They are free, but you should tip them. The place has been maintained as it was at the time of Bolivar's death, almost 200 years ago. So it's a real look back at history. Sunset in Santa Marta. Sunsets over Santa Marta Harbor. Stop by the Sunset Bar and Grill about 30 minutes before sunset and grab a table with a view of beautiful boats in the harbor. The picture shows only the harbor, but there's also a great view of the beach in front of Old Town area and new condo high-rises in front of the harbor. After the sunset walk, north along the beach and visit the crafts market. Bolivar Plaza. Bolivar Plaza is technically the center of Old Town Santa Marta, and you must visit here, but it doesn't seem to have as much foot traffic or interesting people watching as the Parque Santander, as I mentioned before, in Old Town. From Parque Santander, just walk north from the northeast corner of the park, 3 or 4 blocks to get to Bolivar Plaza. Along the way, you'll be walking through a restaurant row where my favorite restaurant is located, Lulu Cafe Bar, which I mentioned before. Churches. We read that the oldest church in South America is Iglesia San Francisco in Old Town Santa Marta. The sign out front is dated 1542, but only the facade is still standing. When you walk inside, you will see 1970 architecture in the building behind the facade. Cathedral Basilica of Santa Marta is the largest, most beautiful church in Santa Marta, and it's unlikely you will miss it if you walk around Old Town for long. We also visited Cementerio San Miguel, and were surprised that many of the largest mausoleums appear to have been broken into or robbed. That concludes the top 10. Now, best Santa Marta accommodations. Almost everything interesting in Santa Marta Old Town is within 2 blocks of the same park, the Parque Santander. So book within a 4 to 5 blocks. You're not walking too far at night or paying for taxis. Here are the affiliate links to the 3 places I recommend based on quality and location. You just click the links. There's a luxury hotel there. There's a character and quality, funky, cool, classy place to stay. And then there's the best hostel, which is in a great location, has a swimming pool, and is a nice place to cool off on a hot day. Best Santa Marta restaurants. Again, Lulo Cafe. The quality of the food here is remarkable. It's delicious, fresh, well-priced, and regionally appropriate. We had to go back. It was so good. Get a table outside if you can, because this walkable area of Old Town is the best for people watching. Uzo Restaurante. Best great Mediterranean food and great place to watch the nightlife. Right across from the park we keep talking about. Isola Sarda. When you're in Rodadero and feel like some homemade Italian dishes, this place is a great surprise. It's owned and operated by a real Italian who also hand makes the pasta and cooks every meal. The food more than makes up for the 3 to 4 blocks from the beach. Again, all of these places I mentioned have links to Google Maps. Just go to the blog at vagabond.buddha. Santa Marta. And finally, the Baba Ganoush. This is by far the best food in Taganga. Plus, the view is out of this world. Go for their happy hour 2-for-1 drinks, and then stay for the delicious, high-quality fusion dishes with hints from all over the world, with hints of flavors from all over the world. Best Santa Marta nightlife. Santa Marta doesn't have the same intensity of nightlife as you will see in Cartagena or Medellin. It's a more relaxed beach vibe, but you can still have some serious fun. Parque Santander de las Novias. This is the same park. After dinner, head over to the park, buy a beer from one of the street vendors for about $2, grab a seat on one of the benches in the park, and people watch. Relax and enjoy yourself for a few hours. When things start to calm down at the park around 10 p.m., then take a short walk around the park while you listen for music that makes your feet move. Head inside the place with the best music and start dancing if the mood strikes you. Ivisa Santa Marta. If you enjoy dancing to electronic music, head over to Ivisa at about 11 p.m. It is right on the park where you were just having the beer. If you are more into rock or other kind of music, just walk a few blocks around the park and listen for your music. More often than not, you'll find something that tickles your fancy. Rodadero Beach Walk. Every evening beginning at sunset on the beach in Rodadero, music starts coming from all directions. People are singing and dancing while they listen to Colombian favorites played live by locals who are carrying their musical instruments with them. You can buy beer and mixed drinks from street vendors for about $2 or sit and watch from an adjacent restaurant and pay about $4 to $6. This is how Colombia has fun, so check it out. Taganga Beach. If you're staying at Taganga for a few days, you'll find your sounds right on the beach or within a few blocks. Just walk around and people watch until you find a place that fits your mood. Santa Marta livability factors. Walkability. Santa Marta Old Town is a perfectly walkable city in the general sense. It is only when you exit the Old Town area that you may need a taxi. At night, I wouldn't walk anywhere outside this area unless you are in a well-lighted area with many people around you. In general, stay out of situations where you are isolated. Internet. We stayed in a condo and the internet was great, but I hear not all home systems are so reliable. For digital nomads and people working online, check out one of the co-working spaces if you need guaranteed high speeds. There's a link. Exercise. We just ran around the neighborhood for exercise, but there are gyms in Santa Marta. And there's a link. I also use resistance bands to stay toned, but they weigh almost nothing and fit easily into my luggage. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are my run days and resistance band days, and Tuesday and Thursday are my yoga days. I do yoga with Adrian or Fight Master on YouTube. Tourist safety tips. Don't be an obvious target. No jewelry, no expensive watches, no conspicuous designer brands, and no $1,200 smartphones should be visible during the day or night. Bring an older smartphone for navigation and internet access. Don't get isolated. There should always be normal human activity amongst the local people around you. Be aware of the people around you. Are they going about their life naturally or focusing on you? At night, I felt completely safe within a few blocks of the park. If it starts feeling sketchy, grab a taxi. It never hurts to visit the U.S. State Department's travel warnings and check any country you're visiting. Food costs, groceries. You can save money in Santa Marta by cooking at home, no doubt. Food costs from the grocery store are about 25% cheaper than the U.S., in some cases even cheaper than that. The budget grocery stores are even cheaper. Weather. The weather in Santa Marta is warm to hot. It's 70 Fahrenheit to 90 Fahrenheit year-round, and then 22 Celsius to 32 year-round. There's a link there. It is at sea level at the equator, so the weather is fairly hot and constant year-round. Always wear sunblock of 30 or more, even when it is overcast. Wear sunblock and a hat, even when you intend to only walk on the shady side of the street. Health risks. Yellow fever shots are required to visit many parts of Colombia, and Zika is still listed as a risk in Colombia. See the CDC webpage. As a side note, you can get your yellow fever shot when you land at Bogota Airport. Just have the information desk point you to the vaccinations clinic on the second floor of the airport. But if you need any of the other shots recommended by the CDC, or your layover in Bogota is not long enough to get shots, what you need, get shots before coming to Colombia. Santa Marta money-saving tricks. SIM card. Unlock your smartphone before you leave home. Load Skype on your phone and answer calls to your home country phone on Skype when people call. Put your home country cell phone number on forward to your Skype telephone number before you board your flight. Pull your home country SIM card out of your phone before you board your flight. Get a local SIM card for about $25 for 4G speeds for a month, which includes internet data at the airport when you land. Internet data on your new SIM card is all you need to answer Skype, WhatsApp, or Google phone calls on your smartphone while you're away from your home country. One friend of mine didn't follow this advice and spent $300 on one phone call because he roamed on his home country SIM card when he was on foreign soil. Transportation. To get to Santa Marta by ground from Cartagena, take an Uber to the Berlinas Marbella station, again a link, in Cartagena, which is in Cartagena, and buy your ticket to Santa Marta for about 40 COP, which is about $13. You'll ride in an air-conditioned Mercedes-Benz 16-seater minivan with free Wi-Fi, which departs from the station to Santa Marta every 30 minutes. You'll arrive in Santa Marta 3.5 hours later. Taxis will be waiting within eyesight when you exit the minivan in Santa Marta. Make sure to have the address of your accommodations ready upon arrival to show the taxi driver. You'll pay about $3 to $6 to get to most parts of Santa Marta from the bus drop spot. Airport transfers. Unlike Cartagena, Uber didn't seem active in Santa Marta. In Cartagena, I read that you should only get a taxi that you've called first by telephone. Don't ask a random taxi to stop. There's no record of you being with them because you didn't call and register. That rule doesn't seem to apply here in Santa Marta. There's a smaller, more relaxed city, and it feels safer to me. But still make sure you pick a well-known landmark when you're coming and going so you can tell the drivers where to take you. The drivers don't seem to use addresses in this part of the world. Public transportation. After we booked our Rio Don Diego tour, we rode the public bus to the river. No problem. Just catch the bus to Palomino, as described here, and get off a few kilometers before Palomino at Rio Don Diego. There's a link. Make sure to verify your tour operator will meet you at the bus stop and start your tour. Onward flights. We tried to board our flight from Mexico to Colombia using a one-way ticket. Interjet wouldn't let us board the flight because we had no onward ticket or bus leaving Colombia. Onward flight tip. Book on Orbitz and they will let you cancel the ticket if you do it within 24 hours. Book for right before jumping on your flight and cancel when you land, or after you have your boarding pass before you get on your flight. Closing thoughts on Santa Marta. I had heard from digital nomad friends that Colombia was a beautiful spot to visit. I agree 100%. Colombia is the 63rd country I had visited since leaving the United States in 2007, and it was well worth a visit. Upon arrival in Colombia, we were told by Colombians that we must see Santa Marta before leaving the country. Santa Marta had a much more laid-back beach feel than Cartagena. The prices were much lower, and it was nice to kick back around beaches for our last few weeks in Colombia. Santa Marta Old Town is an old colonial town, but seems to have attracted a younger crowd than Cartagena, possibly due to lower budget constraints. Taganga has a more hippie diver feel to it. Rodadero is where you go to party or watch Colombians party. Tayrona National Park is gorgeous and respected by Colombians' environmental laws, so it is likely to remain as such. I really enjoyed my time in Santa Marta and recommend it highly. If you've enjoyed this video, please like the video, leave a comment below, and click subscribe below to our YouTube channel. To learn more about how I traveled the planet for over 10 years without having a normal job, please visit vagabondbuddha.com. The world is your home. What time will you be home for dinner? Below is the estimated cost of living 1 month in Santa Marta as a temporary visitor. Have an amazing day. Many of the costs will be reduced greatly as a long-term visitor. For example, we saw one-bedroom apartments in Santa Marta for about $400 a month, which is much cheaper than the temporary quoting cost of living I'm giving here. Thanks for listening. This is Dan, Vagabond Buddha.